What's up, you guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we have the official Google Pixel 9 XL review. I've been using this phone for the better part of 2 months now, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's go ahead and talk about the design. The color that I have here is hazel. It's like a greenish tint in some color and some lighting. Overall, it's more like a titanium-ish coloring, if you want to put a name to it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's definitely really beautiful. I mean, it's definitely a really good phone this year. And like, now the design is really good. One of the strongest things this year is this design, to be honest. Yes, people say that it feels and looks like an iPhone, but the texture and feel in hand feels great. I like it a little bit better than I like how the texture of the iPhone feels this year. So in terms of design, even with this big camera bump, it actually works great when you have it here because it doesn't rattle as much. So I think that was definitely a benefit of it being like this. So it was definitely great. I just love how it feels. Like, I think this is probably the best looking Pixel phone that we've ever seen. And I don't know if they can do any better than this, but if they do, I can't wait to see what they have in store next, how it looks and texting on it and everything. I just really love this new design. So I'm gonna have to give them an A+ on the design this year. Now the frame on this is an aluminum housing, it actually feels really good for aluminum. You could easily bypass by stainless steel. The weight on it is really good weight for this phone. Now let's talk about the screen, because the screen was definitely improved from last year. The screen this year is awesome. It's starting to feel a lot like the Samsung screen, especially when using it outdoors. Buttery smooth, there's no lag whatsoever. In direct sunlight, it's great, but I have noticed that sometimes when using it in direct sunlight, you kind of have to tilt the phone to the sun or to the light so that it can like adjust to its peak brightness. That is definitely a little bit annoying. You know, kind of the Samsung phones and the iPhones, as soon as you are outside, tends to feel like it kind of does it on its own. This one I've noticed, even when I'm sitting in the car and like the sun is blazing at me, you kind of have to tilt the sensor to the sun so that you can get the peak brightness. Sometimes even when I'm indoors, it seems that it wants to auto dim really low. Sometimes I've noticed myself when inside even having the brightness just a little bit. So I think the sensor that, you know, controls the auto brightness on it can definitely be improved next year. But other than that, it's great. Like, I also love the haptic feedback that you get when you're typing. So let's talk about the display, right? So let's talk about the specs. So this is a 6.8 Super Actua display. It's a 1344 by 2992 LTPO. It's 486 for the PPI, 120 Hertz smooth display, 2000 and up to 3000 nits at peak brightness. So again, it's definitely a huge improvement. Everybody knows that Google phones in the past, they struggled when actually using them outside. I personally remember struggling using the camera outside because I couldn't really see what I was looking when the sun was hitting it, but it's definitely a big improvement. So on the screen, I'm gonna have to give this an A+ as well. Next up, let's talk about battery life, because, you know, not everybody has a charger on them 24/7, but let's talk about battery life. I noticed similar performance on battery compared to the Pixel 8 Pro. It's like a tad bit better. Nothing to write home about, to be honest. It's really comparable to the Pixel 8 Pro, but nothing to worry about. It's still a very well one-day phone. I usually start my day around 5 a.m. and around 6 p.m. I want to say I'm about 40% depending on the day. Everybody's usage on this phone varies, and it is a 5060 milliamp battery, so it's definitely great. Yeah, no, honestly, it's great so far. I have never felt it try to, you know, overheat on me. It charges fast. Yeah, I've had no issues whatsoever with the battery this year, so I honestly feel like the battery was good. I mean, it was already great on the Pixel 8 Pro, but it got like little tweaks of improvement on here. Now, this is a Pixel phone, so let's talk about the cameras. So the camera on this phone are good, but I feel like Google lost its touch a little bit on the processing side of the pictures. Hear me out. The Pixel processing seems good, but not like it used to be. Maybe it's just me, but older Pixel pictures tended to be more realistic, a tad bit warmer touch than they are now. Now they seem to go the color route to a more contrasty color route, and they're no longer casual as they used to be. Before, you could take a Pixel phone and it would give you kind of something identical as what you were looking at, but that's no longer the case. They're kind of adding a lot of highlights to their pictures. Sometimes they oversaturate a little bit of the image, especially if you're taking pictures of like a sky. I mean, that's definitely something that it's not really a huge deal if you think about it. You could fix it when you're editing, but at the same time, if you want your pictures to look the best straight out of the box, that's something that you're gonna have to kind of keep in mind. It's losing its touch. It's still a very great photo phone. It's not what we as the Pixel consumers are used to, but you know, nonetheless, the picture quality is still great. There's no questioning that. It's just Google's losing its touch for what it was known for, trying to go more the iPhone Samsung route, and I feel like they have to go back to what they're known to do. But that's just my, you know, my 2 cents on that topic. Let's talk about the cameras. So we have a wide camera, 50 megapixels, an ultra wide, 48 megapixel, a telephone, 48 megapixel, a front camera, 42 megapixels, and 4K up to 224, 30, and 60 frames per second. Now, this isn't news anymore. Everybody knows that the iPhone is the king of the video game. There's no question in that. Samsung is up next, and I would put the Google Pixel right behind it. I mean, Google's never really known for its video quality. They've always been known for their pictures. I have to admit, I enjoy taking pictures more on my 8 Pro than on this 9 Pro XL. I just felt like the texture, like I said, of the picture was just much better. I like the more realistic, the more simplistic. One thing I always disliked about Samsung phones is that they just add so much contrast and saturation to the point where the picture looks like gimmicky. It doesn't even look real. So in terms of pictures, it's still a great picture phone. I would still definitely put it up there. I'm not sure if it's still on my first list. You know, I'm not sure if that's the route I would go. Video, it's second or third. It's definitely not beating Samsung or Apple, but it's definitely improved in the past couple of years, that's for sure, and there's no doubt in that. Both the audio and the quality are better, so I'm great to see that they're improving that, but that's definitely something that they have to work on. And Google, if you're watching this, give us back those warm, realistic color tones on pictures. That's what you're known for, and that's what we as a consumer like. All right, so now let's talk about performance, because this is very important. Now, as you guys know, this has the Tensor G4 this year, so it's definitely a lot better than the Tensor G3. A lot less overheating. I'm not saying that I really dealt with that a lot on my Pixel 8 Pro, but I definitely did run into those situations a couple times. I would have to say performance quality is definitely a lot better. I do notice that, you know, it holds your information a little bit longer. You don't have to refresh an app as much, or if you click away from an app and you come back, it doesn't always restart. It still does it a little bit, but nothing crazy like they used to. So there's no overheating, no lag whatsoever. So yeah, I'm honestly really impressed with the Tensor G4. I'm sure it can get better. Me personally, I have no complaints. There's no lag even when connecting to Android Auto. I did run into an issue with that with a previous Android phone, if you guys remember. But yeah, the 9 Pro, it's so far really been great. You know, with 16 gigabytes of RAM and the 7 years of software update, that's definitely something to also keep in mind, because you know, that'll always depend on the performance of the phone moving forward. Let's talk about Gemini. Me personally, I still use Google Assistant. To me, it's just, you know, I'm someone that, like, if it's working, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And I think that's what Google should have done here. I mean, it's great. I've used it for a couple of things just to ask it some random questions and whatsoever, but I'm still a Google Assistant type of person. So in terms of Gemini, something I looked forward to into this phone. But again, that's just me. I'm sure there's other YouTubers that use Gemini and they have better, you know, experiences with it. Me personally, it's more of a gimmick to me, and I definitely wouldn't pay the subscription to get Gemini Plus. So, you know, take that as you'd like. It's just me. I really like Google Assistant, therefore I'm gonna keep using Google Assistant. All right, you guys, so overall, solid upgrade. If you have the Pixel 8 Pro, do you need to upgrade? In terms of performance, maybe not. The design, screen, that alone, I mean, it's really like one of the best upgrades that you can do. You don't have to, but I would definitely recommend it. It was just like a really solid upgrade. Like, I think Google really knocked it out of the park with this one. The only thing that if I had to pick something to like, you know, be like, Google, what the hell, would be like 128 gigabytes for a pro model. Like, come on guys, let's be realistic. It should be 256 out the box. Who knows, maybe we'll get that next year. That's what I'm praying for. But other than that, yeah guys, this phone, I have to say, it's one of my favorite phones this year. Google's making Apple work for their money this year, to be honest with you. I can't really think of anything else that comes to mind. I apologize if this review was a little bit later. I just couldn't use the phone for a week and really grasp everything that I needed to. I need to use it for like a month or two to really see what it's about, see if it's really true what everybody's saying. Okay, so just wrapping up this video. Again, like I said, definitely, if you're thinking about it, just, you know, in my honest opinion, I think it's a great phone, so you will not be upset with it. But yeah, I have to give this an overall A if I had to put a grade to it. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're still here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold review. I know, Googling these names, right? But yeah guys, thank you so much to all my subscribers. I love you guys all. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have it. If you have this phone, let me know what you like, what you don't like, if there's something more you would have seen. But yeah, so yeah guys, this has been the review of the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.